What's up, everyone? Welcome back. So yeah, gonna be back today doing some more The Sims 2 for you guys today. It's been a while since I've done this, so I figure what might as well. Because obviously I've been busy showing off a bunch of brand new games for you guys. But of course, taking a break from that because my dad's work schedule the next couple weeks is going to be slightly unpredictable. And again, I don't want him, coming back home early from work unexpectedly while I'm in the middle of showing off a brand new game for you guys, which is why, again, this week I'm kind of just, this week and probably the next week or so, I don't know if I'm going to even get to do any recording next week or the week after that, I don't know. Things are just kind of up in the air, but I'm going to be playing mostly just a bunch of pick up and play games. But I figure, I have the opportunity to get some content done, so I might as well. It's as simple as that. I also think I might have to divorce Felicity again so I can go on another, fucking spree, so to speak. And I mean that literally, as in, I'm literally just gonna fuck everybody. But I've been thinking about it. But anyway, maybe I'll divorce her, maybe. We'll see. But, of course, it'd be the second time, because I've already been married to her another time before this. I don't even care about Larry. I don't even know who the fuck Larry is. Anyway, yeah, just a lot of crazy shit going on in my my life as of late. Just gonna hang out in here, I guess. But yeah, just yeah, a bunch of crazy shit. So one of my buddies came back from school because he's going to school. He's someone that I worked with and whatnot, and so he wanted to pick up some shifts at the restaurant or whatever. So yesterday he worked. And we just recently got the new computer system, so it was his, first time using the computer systems and whatnot. And I don't want to go too into depth with what happened here, because there was some major drama between him and the fucking owner of the place. But basically, to make a long story short, my friend was just, he was sick and tired of, the managerial incompetence at that particular place, which, is definitely a fair criticism. I'm not saying that it isn't. But he basically ended up last night, he ended up quitting on the spot and just left. So, yeah, I'm not saying that he was necessarily wrong to quit, but at the same time, I do think he could have handled it a little bit better, So, yeah, it just kind of is what it is as far as that's concerned. But, yeah. He basically just ended up quitting on the spot. The owner was pissed, as I'm sure you guys can imagine. But, yeah, no, he was like, yeah, no, fuck this, I ain't doing this. He was back for literally one day and then just decided to quit. And I wanted to tell him, be like, yeah, dude, try fucking 7 years of this shit. I've worked there long enough to know that the managerial, the people who run that place aren't necessarily the brightest individuals that the world has to offer. They're not exactly the stupidest either in certain circumstances. I think, they really do try their best. It's just, with the whole coronavirus thing, they really were legitimately dealt a tough, situation that they had to deal with and whatnot with being short-staffed. I just think that the whole computer system upgrade could have been done at a better time, maybe. Not when we're in the middle of being short-staffed, because we were already short-staffed, and now we have actually started to hire some new people, which is good. But now you're having the experienced people have to train the new people on a system that we're not familiar with, which is kind of stupid. So I understand where my friend's coming from, 100%, there have been, you guys who've watched my videos for a while, I've been very critical of the management staff at my workplace. You guys know that. I honest to God, though, I will say this. I do not think that they are lazy. I think that they are legitimately hardworking. They do try their best legitimately. I think that their best could use a little work, granted, to be fair. But, I think that it's at least respectable that they, do work hard and they do legitimately try their best, even if I don't agree with everything that they do. So I think in this case, this is one of those things where I kind of understand the situation from both sides. The thing about my buddy is that, he's a great guy, legitimately. He's a good kid. He's got a few things to learn, though, about, the way the world works and shit like that. For sure. He's a young kid. My only fear for him is that one of these days he's going to let his ego get the better of him, and it's going to get him into some trouble. You know, he's going to end up doing something that he regrets because he lets his ego get the better of him. You know, it's not fair to hold people to my standards, though, because I'm, like, one of the most patient, like, relaxed people that you'll ever meet. Like, it takes a lot to genuinely piss me off. Like, you have to try really hard to, like, actually genuinely piss me off. Like, I don't get pissed off very often. So, you know, I get that I can't hold everyone to my same standards of, you know, being relaxed and being understanding. So I've always tried to be, you know, a very understanding person in general. And I get that I can't hold everyone to the same standards that I hold myself to, because that's just not fair. You know, because I hold myself to very high standards. At least in that regard. In some other regards, I hold myself to very low standards, because honestly, fuck it. So, yeah, just kind of, you know, is what it is. But yeah, it's just crazy, you know? He, like, comes back for one day back from college and then, like, quits on the spot. Which, again, I can't say I blame him for entirely. I'm definitely not blaming him, you know? Like, the shit that goes on there is, you know, can be chalked up to pretty much just, you know, straight up managerial incompetence. You know, no doubt. Part of it's the manager's fault, part of it isn't, because we've been so short-staffed because of the whole COVID thing, which, again, is entirely out of the management staff's control. You know, there's really nothing they can do about that. But, yeah, just a crazy, wild day, you know. Again, I don't want to really feel like getting into the specifics of how exactly it went down. But, yeah, basically my buddy last night was pissed. He went on, like, a tirade on fucking social media, just blasting the fucking owner. Which was honestly kind of impressive. It was an impressive tirade. Like, honestly, it was a pretty good rant that would even put some of my rants to shame, because I'm pretty good at ranting about shit, but, like, his rant actually would have put mine to shame. Like, his rant was really on point. Like, I gotta give him props for that. Like, it was a pretty good rant. But yeah, it was, whew. So yeah, I just hope people don't, you know, come up to me at work and ask me about it since I'm friends with him, you know, like, I'm just going to tell anyone who wants to know anything, I'm just going to be like, listen, guys, you want to know anything? Talk to him directly. I'm not going to say shit about it. It's none of my business, quite frankly, you know, like, yeah, I might be friends with him, but at the same time, it's not my business, you know, like, he is his own person, he's a grown-ass man, he makes his own fucking decisions, you know, like, you want to know shit, talk to him. But yeah, I just hope that people don't, like, come up to me and ask me about it, because I don't feel like talking about it, to be honest. I mean, unless it's with, you know, you guys, because that's different. You know, I don't want to talk to my coworkers about it, really, because I just don't feel like it. You know, the way I see it is that if they want to know about the situation, they can ask him directly. Again, that was my friend's decision. It's his choice. He, you know, can live with it. And again, I'm not saying he's necessarily right or wrong one way or the other. I'm just saying, you know. I do think he could have handled the situation a little bit better. You know, the way he handled it was a little bit... You know, I completely understand where he's coming from, don't get me wrong, but I do think the way he handled it was a little bit, you know, unprofessional, for sure. But... Again, I'm not saying that the choice he made was wrong, necessarily. I'm saying that the way he handled it could have been handled better. But again, at the end of the day, it's not really worth my time worrying about it, because it's not really that big of a deal for me personally. It doesn't really affect me that much. You know, and I know that's kind of a selfish thing to say, but at the same time, like, you know, that's his choice. You know, he's more than welcome to make his own choices. You know, I really couldn't care less. Again, you know, that's his life. I'll let him worry about his life, and I'll worry about my life, because God knows I got plenty to worry about in my own life, you know? Like, for the fact that, you know, My future is probably not looking too bright at this point, but we'll see. It all depends on how my plans, pan out. I just kind of have to hope for a miracle is all. A damn good miracle. Oh, man. Yeah, I hope y'all out there are having a good one, though. Hope y'all are doing good. All that good shit. Me, personally, things in my personal life have been, I would say, pretty, average, I guess, compared to how I've usually been doing. Things haven't really been worse than usual. I mean, with the exception of yesterday, all that drama and shit at work. Slightly irritating, but again, it really doesn't affect me, so I shouldn't worry about it too much. So at the end of the day, again, that's not really my problem. Right now, I'm going to stay at stay working at the restaurant that I'm working at, merely because, again, I like the people that I work with. I very much so like the people that I work with, and I feel like it's, that to me is worth something. Like, yeah, I might not make a whole lot of money at my job, but I've actually been making a lot more than usual recently because of the fact that, we've been so short-staffed. We've been, incredibly short-staffed, which has actually been a blessing in disguise for me. It has sucked because all the shifts, it sucks to work all these shifts when you're extremely short-staffed because, all the shifts, again, just suck because I have to try to figure out how to do, fucking 4 different jobs all at the same time, and it's kind of aggravating. But at the same time, it's good for me because I'm making a lot of money. So, I mean, it does have its advantages. I'm not saying that being short-staffed doesn't come out with its own advantages. In the long term, it's actually going to be very good for me because I'll be able to accelerate my plans along a lot faster, which is cool. But it's a frustrating process. And I knew that when I set this plan in motion that it would be a long and frustrating process. I knew ahead of time that I wasn't going to make necessarily as much progress as I wanted to, as quickly as I wanted to, I knew that in advance when I set this plan into motion. Basically, my plan is to, once I'm done buying up a bunch of brand new games, I'm not going to buy any brand new games for a very long time. I wanted to have one last big blowout, and then when I'm done buying brand new video games, I'm going to start saving up pretty much every single penny that I can. I'm going to only spend my money on shit that I pretty much need. I might take maybe one vacation here or there, but, very, small vacation or whatever. But for the most part, I'm going to try to, start saving up money religiously and hopefully save up enough money to straight up buy a house, within a few years maybe. Hopefully within a few years, though, the housing market will crash again and I'll be able to get a house pretty cheap. But, there's still a lot of unknowns. A lot of shit could happen between now and then. We're talking at least a process that's going to take me at least probably a few years. It's going to be a long and rather tedious process. And again, a lot of shit could happen in between now and then. I don't really know what'll happen between now and then, but either way, shit is what shit is. I'll, still do my best and whatnot, but that's basically my plan in short, is just to fucking, save up as much money as I can and then buy my own place somewhere. That's pretty much it. Pretty simple plan, but hopefully it'll work for me. I'm not 100% sure that it will, but either way I'm going to do my best because I really think that at this point, with college being an absolute failure of an idea on my part, I mean, I'll be the first one to admit it. I absolutely failed at college, 100%. I honest to God, probably either failed or dropped out of half the classes that I fucking took in college. It was a complete waste of time and money and a complete boondoggle on my part. Complete waste of my time and money. honest to God, going to college was one of the worst decisions I ever made. I went to college because that was what my mom told me to do. She's like, you know, that's what I was told my whole life. My whole life I was told, you know, after high school, you have to go to college and get a degree. When what I should have done is right after high school, I should have moved in with my dad, started saving up money, because by now, I probably could have had enough money to fucking buy a house by now. Granted, I would not have, you know, as many video game systems and video games, granted, because that's mainly what I spent a lot of my money on over the years is, you know, video games and video game systems and shit. But if I had focused on doing, you know, saving up money from the start, yeah, I'd have less video games and video game systems and shit. I'd still have enough to, you know, produce content for you guys, granted. But at the same time, you know, now I would have a lot more money saved up by now if I had just done that from the start. Hell, I might even have my own fucking house by now if I had done that from the start, which is what I should have done, but I didn't, because I didn't realize that I could have done that. Because again, my whole fucking life I was told, you need to go to college, you need to get a 4-year degree, you need to do this, you need to do that, blah, blah, blah. And you know, it was bullshit. It was all bullshit. You know, I don't like to subscribe to the idea that there's only one right way to do something. I have never liked to subscribe to that idea. I've always thought that that was bullshit. There's, you know, people who say that there's only one right way to do things, or there's only one good way to do things. That's wrong. In my opinion, that's always wrong. There's more than one way to skin a cat. You know, I do not like to subscribe to the idea that there's only one right way to do something. I think that that's bullshit. And I'm so pissed that I didn't figure this out earlier in my life, because I could have been so much further ahead in my life by now. But it is what it is. You know, there's no point in dwelling on the past right now. I have to deal with what I have to deal with, and, you know, it's my own fault for not realizing it sooner, but at least now I'll have, you know, once I do move out on my own, at least I'll have enough video games to keep me occupied for probably the rest of my life. So, you know, it's not all bad. Again, I really do just wish I would have figured that out sooner, though. That's my biggest regret, was probably going to college. One of the biggest regrets in my life, honestly, was going to college and not realizing sooner that I could have just moved in with my dad right after high school, just started saving up money, and then, you know, I'd probably have my own fucking house by now, you know? It's irritating to think about that, but yeah, it just is what it is. So at least now I know what my plan is for the first time in a long time. You know, I actually have a sense of direction. You know, a sense of what I'm supposed to be doing. And feels pretty good, not gonna lie. Again, my biggest thing that pisses me off is that I didn't figure this shit out sooner. That's the only thing that pisses me off. But regardless, once I'm done buying up some more, like, anime and shit, because I do want to do that as well. You know, once I move out on my own, I want to have enough, like, you know, TV shows and anime, like, on Blu-ray and shit. Because, you know, I don't trust streaming services and shit. I mean, it's not that I don't trust streaming services and shit. It's just I like to, you know, physically own, you know, stuff. That way, in case, like, the internet goes out or shit like that, you know, I still have shit that I can entertain myself with. That's why I always like to buy physical copies of media. So, yeah. But once I'm done with that, partway through this next year, I'm going to start, you know, partway through 2022 here, I'm going to start saving up money religiously, because I need to get the hell out of my dad's house as fast as I can. And part of it, too, is just for my own mental sanity, because I'm going to be honest with you guys, mentally speaking, I just have not been in a very good place the past few years. You know, again, really ever since 2017, it's just, you know, mentally speaking, I haven't been in a good place for a long time. And this is the right move for me. You know, logically speaking, I think it's the right move, but also, oh, nice, she collapsed. You know, logically, it's the smart move, I think. And mentally speaking, it'll be the smart move for me. All I've ever wanted to do is just do whatever I want, whenever I want, however I want. And the only way to accomplish that goal is to own my own house. That is the only fucking way I can accomplish that. That has been my goal from day one. I want to live a fun, quiet, peaceful life. And I believe by, YouTubing and making videos for you guys, I can do that. But the only way to truly do that is to own my own house. Because I'll be able to, at my dad's house, I'm severely limited in the amount of time that I have to record videos for you guys. Like, I can only record videos, I can't record at night. I can only record videos, early in the morning, which sucks because, again, I'm not very much of a morning person. I feel like I don't do as well, with commentary and shit like that in the morning. So, I'm not at my best necessarily. Whereas if I move out on my own, and get my own house and shit, I can record whenever I want. And I feel like the quality of my content, as far as like my commentary and shit's concerned, I feel like will go up quite a bit. I've always been much more of a night person than a morning person, so if I'm able to record at night, I feel like I'll make these videos a lot more fun for you guys. Not that, recording in the morning isn't fun for you guys, it's just sometimes when I have to wake my ass up really early, after coming home from work at fucking midnight, and then I have to try to wake up at fucking 7, it's a bit irritating. So, yeah. But, again, I do the best I can with the tools that I have available to me. Tools also including time. Because again, I can only record in the mornings. That's that's what I have to work with, and that's what I'll use. So, yeah, I mean, it's irritating, but, it is what it is. But I feel like, mentally speaking, it'll be a good move for me to, move out on my own and get my own place so that way I can, really, really focus on this YouTube channel. Obviously I'll get a full-time job somewhere, whatever. That way I can support myself and whatnot. But once I move out on my own, I want to make this YouTube channel my main focus. Because I had to ask myself a long time ago, I had to ask myself a really tough question. What do you want to do with the rest of your life? And for the longest time, I couldn't figure it out because I'm like, I have no idea what I want to do for a career, Like, I have no fucking idea. But then I quickly realized, well, not quickly, actually. It took me a while to figure this out. But I realized after a while, I'm like, after years of asking myself the question of what do I want to do for the rest of my life, and I'm like, for the longest time I couldn't figure it out because I had no idea what I wanted to do for a career. But then I realized, I'm like, wait a minute. The question was not originally, what do you want to do as a career for the rest of your life? The initial question was, what do you want to do with the rest of your life? And when I started looking at it more so from that aspect, I realized, because I was looking at it only through the aspect of what do you want to do for a career, But the real question is not what do I want to do for a career, but the real question is what do I really want to do with the rest of my life? And the answer was literally staring me right in the fucking face the whole time. You know what I really want to do with my life? And it may sound pathetic. I want to sit on my fucking ass and make fucking YouTube videos for you guys and play video games. That is what I really want to do with the rest of my life. That is it. That is all I've ever wanted to do. Again, like I said, I've only ever wanted to live a quiet, peaceful life. That's it. That's all I've ever wanted to do. That's all I ever will want to do. That's it. And I believe that, by moving out on my own, getting my own house, I'll be able to, really put even more effort into, running this YouTube channel and make that my main focus, which is what I've always wanted. And at my dad's house, I haven't been able to do that because I don't have nearly as much time to record videos for you guys, and it's annoying, but, it is what it is. I do the best I can with the time that I'm given. But, again, you do the best you can. And that's what I've done, ever since I've moved into my dad's house. I've tried to do the best I can, but again, it's really tough when you work 6 days a week and then have to try to wake up early in the morning to record videos. I set like 15 alarms, and I can't even tell you how many times I hit the fucking snooze button this morning. I set my alarms for like 7, and still didn't get my ass up till about like 9 o'clock. Which is ridiculous. That just goes to show you how fucking exhausted I've been, but again, like I said, with working so much lately, it's exactly what I need to be doing. It sucks, but it's exactly what I need to be doing in order to save up as much money as I can to, you know, so that way I can move out of my dad's house as soon as possible. That is my plan, is to move out as soon as I can buy some cheap-ass little house somewhere. I'm gonna fucking do it. Even if it's not the best house, you know, so long as it's functional, I don't care. It's got some dings and dents and shit. I don't give a shit, so long as it's fucking functional, you know. And again, I'm just one person. I don't need like a huge, you know, living space or whatever. I just need enough to store all my shit. You know, my massive collection of video games. So let me tell you, stuffing this many video game systems and this many games into one tiny bedroom has been quite one hell of a task. Because again, with all these brand new games that I've bought recently, that I still have to show off for you guys, I still have an unbelievable amount of brand new games that I have to show off for you guys. I probably have like over 1,000 games in my collection at this point. And we're talking like physical games, like actual discs and cartridges like in cases and shit. And as you can imagine, it's quite one hell of a task trying to fit all that into this tiny little bedroom of mine. But yeah, I mean, I do the best I can. But yeah, it's awesome, man. I cannot stress enough how much you guys are definitely going to want to stay tuned. If you guys have enjoyed, you know, the little bit I've done so far of showing off some of these brand new games, trust me, I'm just getting started. Like, if you guys have enjoyed it so far, y'all are definitely going to want to stay tuned, because, like I said, I'm just getting started. I've only gotten through, like, one stack worth of, you know, brand new games, and I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9... probably like 10 or 11 more stacks worth of video games left to get through for you guys. So there's a lot more shit that I have left to do. And it's going to be fucking awesome. For sure. Definitely awesome. You guys are definitely not going to want to miss it. Alright. Well, either way, I'm probably going to go ahead and end this one here. So, yeah, either way, stay tuned for some more The Sims 2, and until then, peace out.